Thank you very much for the privilege of this opportunity to interface on very germane issues. The subject of governance is an extremely serious matter. And I would often say that politics, which is the framework within which governance takes place, it's a very serious business to be left to your conventional politician. And the reason is because governance is at the heart of the well-being of the people. And for me, as a constitutional lawyer, I would often make the point that we need to address governance in the context of what is set out in Section 14, subsection 2b of the Constitution. And it says the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. And very many people do not fully appreciate the import of that. It actually encapsulates the totality of what governance is all about. That the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. And for those of us who are lawyers, and I'm sure even for those who are linguists, the word shall imposes an obligation. So you don't even have an option. You must prioritize and guarantee the security and welfare of the people. Everything else is secondary. And that's why the Constitution is very clear. It shall be the primary purpose of government. So, governance for me must revolve around the security and welfare of the people. And part of the reason why our country has grappled with a great deal of challenges is because many of our political actors, whether elected or appointed, do not fully appreciate what governance entails. And Chinua Achebe wrote a very important book in 1984, and the title was The Problem with Nigeria. And at the end of the day, the conclusion that he drew was that the fundamental problem that Nigeria grapples with is governance. Part of it is the quality of the recruitment process, the kind of individuals that we throw up. Part of it is the accountability mechanism. So it's one thing to have a process that throws up our leaders, whether it is at the primary level, at the level of political parties, or at the level of the elections conducted by INEC or by the State Independent Electoral Commission, and people get into government. What is the accountability framework? How do we hold people to account? How do we let people know that there are consequences if they betray the trust of the people? For me, these are the issues that are key to understanding governance. And it is a tragedy that if you look at the data, the statistics, in the 60s, Nigeria was at a comparative level of development with the UAE, for instance. Today, Dubai is the go-to place. And the tragedy is that Nigeria is sadly where we are. So, you must, in understanding governance, and when you then narrow these down to the actors, you will have to ask yourself, are these individuals competent? Are these individuals people that have integrity? Do these individuals have capacity? And until we address these issues beyond considerations of religion, ethnicity, and other sectional fault lines, we will not be able to get it right. The tragedy is that we often look at governance and politics through the prism of religion, ethnicity, and other sectional fault lines. And for as long as that persists, we will not get it right. Let us focus on the individuals that will have the capacity, the competence, the integrity to prioritize and guarantee the security and welfare of the people. And once that happens, I can assure you, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that